Meghan Markle was joined by Trevor Noah, a comedian and host of The Daily Show, on the latest and final episode of her podcast. The pair discussed the perpetuation of archetypes in the media and explored how men can play a role in deconstructing the labels and stereotypes often pinned on women. Now, resurfaced footage has shown the comedian criticizing the royal family, namely King Charles III, leading one royal expert to question the Duchess of Sussex's choice of guests. The footage of Charles' battle with the pen was heavily mocked online. In the clip, the king became irritated by a leaking fountain pen after writing the wrong date in a visitor's book. "Oh God, I hate this," he complained. "I can't bear this bloody thing." Speaking on his show, the South African comedian said, "I love how Charles says the pens leak on him all the time. You're literally the King of England, dude. If you don't like the pens, get different pens. I'm not an expert in the monarchy, but I'm pretty sure the hierarchy doesn't go Prince William, King Charles and then the guy who buys the pens." He continued, "I feel kinda bad for him. I do. Because in the old days, the king would have never had these issues. There would be no leaking pens. Also, the king would never get corrected after writing the wrong date. That just would have been the new date. Maybe King Charles is just stressed out right now. Maybe that's why this is happening," the host speculated. But if you paid attention to Charles back during his prince days, you would know that this is pretty much how he's always been. The comedian then brought up footage in which a former royal butler recalled being summoned by the then Prince Charles to pick up a letter that had fallen into the bin next to him. "When I was a kid, I thought kings had to pull swords out of stones," Noah joked. "This dude can barely pull his DCK out of his own pants." It is not the only time the comedian has criticized the British royal family. Following the monarch's death, Trevor argued people oppressed by the British Crown are being recolonized by pressure to mourn the loss of Queen Elizabeth. He said, "You can't expect people to show respect for something that never respected them." Further footage of the comedian making a joke in which he refers to the late Queen as a BTCH has provoked some royal fans to take to social media to slam the Duchess for inviting him on her podcast. One Twitter user said, "Simple question everyone. What the heck does Trevor Noah know about how hard King Charles has worked as a prince and now as a king?" Answer: absolutely nothing. The fact Markle invited him on her podcast was very much strategic hymo. The final episode was as dull. Another added, "has hit rock's bottom," while a third said, "Meghan hosts Trevor Noah, who mocked the king in a segment on his show just a few days after the Queen died." Of course, no media will comment at just how vindictive a collaboration like that is. But just imagine the outrage if roles were reversed. I have no words. However, some social media users came to the Duchess' defense, with one praising her decision to invite Trevor on the podcast. Powerful ending of the podcast. Nobody see this coming, they tweeted. Awesome job Duchess and her team. Another user added, "Thank you for posting this. It was an incredible episode, and Trevor Noah was brilliant. A third reference to quote the comedian cited during the hour-long episode. Black Man and Black.